Welcome back, everybody, to the Filmmaker Focus Poll. I am your host, Carsonus from Creationist, and this is episode number 10. We finally hit it, guys. Double digits. It is time for a celebration. Yeah, no, it's not really a party in here. I'm all alone. I was planning to have a guest for today, but that sadly did not happen, although I am still here yet again a bit later than usual, and that's due to the fact that I just shot a family shoot of 50 plus people. 50 plus people. I am a little overwhelmed, although it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Prior, I think my cap was, I think it was about 20, and I thought that was too much. Thankfully, I have super wide angle lenses and I was able to do all the stuff that they wanted me to. So shout out to Snapper for hooking me up with that gig. It was a little last minute, although I'm thankful that I got to do that and I just feel a lot better afterwards. I actually had this all set up and I was gonna go, although I didn't want to be in a time crunch. I'm trying to be a little more punctual, a little more professional. Anyway, today's episode is going to be a bit more meta, meaning we're going to be talking about the poll instead of like my experience with it the past week. I mean, towards the end I might say a little bit about that, but today we are going to be talking about what each element is, like the original video, and then as well we are going to be saying the default order. I think I'm going to start with the default order so every week I know where to push it from. And I've come up with this order based on if I was going to create a project, primarily video of course, as it is the Filmmaker Focus Poll, I am going to have elements starting at the top that make sense that then go to the bottom. Although this isn't something that stays the same. It's interchanging because your focus is always changing. So let's just hop right in. I actually created a keynote for you guys, and I do plan on doing these for the future. So let me present that to you guys now. I hope you enjoy. So kicking it right off, we're going to have this title slide of the Filmmaker Focus Poll. This is week 10, like I was saying earlier. I'm very excited to have finally made it. This is 2.5 months. Today is Tuesday, August 27, 2019. Thank you all for just staying tuned for all the prior episodes. If you've watched them, if you haven't, go ahead and feel free to check them out. And feel free to check out that Snapper video too. That is actually my number one video right now. I think it just hit 300, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Anyway, Snapper aside, we're going to talk about what this poll is because it's always been capture at the top and it's still very important, although I think I have plans of changing it. I also have plans of possibly taking out that 10th element, which was direction. Hopefully I don't mess up my camera doing this. But yeah, direction. If you've checked out my banner on my YouTube, it says creative focus and direction. So I think that direction should always play a part no matter what. I think it's as strong as what focus is. So I'm thinking I want to take it out. But let's hop right in. I know I've been talking a lot. I'm going a million miles per hour. I don't know. After that shoot on the beach, I really feel like super good. Maybe I should do shoots before these live streams always. That would be awesome. Hopefully video though. So hopping over to capture. Capture is going to be number one. And with capture, I think you have 5 seconds. You really only have 5 seconds. That's what Mel Robinson said. For anything you want to do in life, you have 5 seconds. Whenever I wake up out of bed, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I hop out. It's like a rocket ship, honestly. And you got 5 seconds to capture that idea, because if you have a tiny little thought like, I think I want to go for this, yeah, it can come back, but you need to capture it. And whether you're capturing that by writing it down, taking a picture, or just doing some type of medium to take what's in your mind and put it out there physically. If you don't put it out there, it might get lost, because we are human and we're not going to remember every single thing. So really, guys, you got 5 seconds. Make it count. And hopping over to the second one on the poll is creativity, because within that idea, you are creating something. You are molding this little baby. And in filmmaking, they actually say, kill your babies. I know that sounds terrible, and it's not the best thing to say, although it makes sense, because in the editing room over there, I have to kill babies all the time. And what I mean by that is, I have this idea, I go on it, I start creating sound effects, visual effects, I keep just building, and then I think, wait a minute, does this even make sense at the macro view of this whole entire video? Does this make any sense at all? And if it doesn't, I gotta toss it out, because those micros are very cool. You have to pay attention to them to get the attention to detail, but you gotta pay attention to the whole big picture. So creativity is gonna be at the top right after that idea is captured. And with creativity, we are growing, we are thinking outside the box. I know this image is a box, but the arrows are pointing outwards. It's showing that the box is there. You need to think outside of it. You need to constantly grow. And creativity is what's going to do that. And headed over to the next one. I'm not going to be moving any elements today. I actually have a whole idea. I don't think I'm going to actually... I have an idea. I have wrote it down. I didn't let the 5 seconds pass. But I'm going so fast today. But I'm not going to be moving any elements. I'm going to be moving other things. I designed something. Y'all will see. Y'all will see next week. Next week, number 11. But yes, we have to constantly grow. And hopping over to next thing, I associate creativity and innovation kind of is one element in itself. It was really hard to choose which one goes first, but I don't think you can create with, sorry. I don't think you can innovate without creating first, because innovation is all about adaptability. It's being able to adapt from that original idea, that 5 seconds that you took and you grew on. It's able to piece together what you actually have available, because if you're creating a film and you're writing, you want these helicopter scenes, these car chase scenes, you're probably not going to be able to do them unless you have a high budget. And so you're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to figure out, what can I hide? What can I do miniature? Like, you got to get creative with the innovation. So you got to be able to adapt. So that's why that's going to be at the top of the list. Also, if you know by my company's my company's colors here, I actually have new cards for you guys right here. Hopefully this gets in focus. So with my company, I know it might be reverse. I can't really tell. So it is blue, yellow. It's blue, yellow, red. And blue, yellow, red is just the way I organize things. So you're gonna see that theme throughout pretty much everything that I do, including this filmmaker focus poll. So everything we've had so far is blue, blue, blue. And hopping on to the next one, that's gonna be good old yellow, and that is perspective. So you've done your 5 seconds, you've grew on it, you've adapted. Now you have to take your own individual perspective, and with your perspective, you have to express it. You have to be able to take everything that you have grew on in your life, because everyone lives a different life. No one person is like another. We all grew up in different circumstances. We all think a different way, whether it's logic, reason, emotionally, all different types of statuses and whatnot. Everyone thinks different, and so you need to be able to express that. And the reason I kind of chose this icon is I see it in my vision. I see a sun. I see a sun on the horizon, and just kind of looking up to up there. I mean, the yellow just to me is the sun. It is positivity, and it is emotion, as weather can predict how you're going to feel. Not saying you should let it dictate how you feel, although I feel like as a color, yellow is a very strong one. I mean, that's why smiley faces, and that's why Walmart used a yellow smiley face, not green or anything like that. And yeah, Legos know what they're doing too. I grew up on Legos. So, I mean, if you grew up on Legos, like, please comment down below, because we might have a similar perspective. But hopping on to the next element, that is going to be sound. Again, this is going to be a yellow element. I feel like with sound, building on perspective, say you're sad, say you're happy, say you're motivated, say you just feel like bah, bah, bah. You just feel like going ham in an action movie because you want to be an actor. I mean, the filmmaker focus poll isn't just for filmmakers. I mean, it's really for anyone in film. But being able to express yourself, I feel like before lighting, that's a little caveat. I think that's a caveat. I use words that I need to actually get some more dictionary reading on. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. Anyway, I feel like with sound, you're able to express. Oh, sorry. We were on express on the other one. You're able to conduct. I was thinking of, like, a conductor, but you're able to conduct what you are feeling in the music. I'm playing around with a lot more sound effects. I was editing a later vlog. Y'all will see that next week. I believe I'm going to post it next week. Anyway, I'll give you a hint. It is about a really, really bad house that I shot at. Anyway, I used a lot of sound effects to express and conduct the way I was feeling in the shooting and in the editing room. And I feel like music plays a very strong part after your perspective. I mean, just think about even boxers. Whenever they go out there, they have their music playing, they're getting in the zone, and that's how they're expressing themselves and conducting. I know I keep saying express, but I feel like with imagery and sound, visuals and sound, that both of those are a way of expressing your perspective. And so that's going to hop on to the next one. After sound, we are going to have lighting, or light in this instance. And the reason why I put lighting after sound is because you need to know exactly what you're going for, whether that's even a mood board or inspirational music. I know a lot of times filmmakers will have a song in mind, whether it's the song they're going to use in the film or not. They choose the song, and then they're able to listen to the song and look at the mood board and be like, okay, yeah, this is going to work, this is not going to work, and whatnot. So I feel like once you gather that perspective, you need to get the rhythm, get the energy. Kind of brings me back to playing drums. Just like the rhythm, once you know the rhythm, you're going to know how it's going to cut. You're going to know what kind of lighting you want to have. And I just feel like sound is actually before lighting, because lighting does not say the whole thing. I mean, think about scary movies, and whenever you are watching them, there's hardly any light, and it's all built up on the music. So I really think that music plays a strong point, and that's why I put it before lighting. But lighting is the way you are going to show your perspective. You've already conducted. I don't know if I necessarily want to use the word conduct. I chose it for this PowerPoint. Anyway, you show afterwards. So we're just going to slide it back up. I like going through these sections. But with the perspective, you're able to express. With the sound, you are able to conduct what you're trying to express. And then with lighting, you can then show. And now headed down to more so the bottom of the filmmaker focus poll. Again, this is last week's. With the bottom getting lower, we are getting to that third color, and that is going to be red. And I think red is all about action. Action. I mean, I like that a camera is in red right here because that's the action right there. I mean, that's what you use. I feel like red just means go. I know it means stop, but really it means go. Come on, guys. Like, I'm not the only one out there. Red is just like a fighting color. It just, the whole fight or flight. Red used to be my favorite color, but it's definitely blue now. That's why most of my colors are blue. I mean, I got blue here, lots of blue there. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Also, if you're trying to comment, I am looking at it this week. I'm getting better at that, guys. I'm feeling this. Now that I'm at episode 10, I'm getting comfortable. But maybe a little too comfortable. I don't want to stay comfortable. Glad I have water. I don't know how people live stream for like hours. I might. We'll see. But headed back to the PowerPoint. Number 7 on the poll, we have method, because once you have gotten your idea really, really honed down, you got to think, how am I going to pull this off? How am I going to pull this off? I know what I want, but how am I going to pull it off? And with that, you are going to come out with a format. You are going to have your guideline. You're going to have the way you want things to be done. As my engineering teacher would say, that there must be a method to the madness. There must be a method to a madness, because if not, it is madness. So have that method after those others. Like I said, these elements will be moving, although this is going to be the original format. This is basic. This is going to be what you see every week before I start moving it, because I don't want last week. I want to keep moving forward. I might have gave away some stuff. Back to that, once you have your format, you want to make sure you have preparation for that format. You've got an idea. You can't prep if you don't know the format. So that's why preparation is going to be next on the poll. And you design your preparation. I think of it whenever I set up all this. I'm preparing for this live stream, whether it takes me 1, 2, or 3 hours. I've already got a method, and that's how I'm actually delivering it to you guys. But then I've got the preparation, and that's how I organize every little thing. And that's why this image I have for preparation is grouping. And I think that is the best way to demonstrate preparation. And headed over to last but not least, kind of, we have support. Because after you've done, I might have to refer back to this. After you have capture, after you have creativity and innovation, and then you've gotten your perspective, you were able to get the sound that you're going to need to, motivate you to create this. You're going to then figure out how you're going to light it. And after the lighting, you've pretty much got all the creative side at that first 2/3. I really just like thirds. That's why I'm thinking about kicking one of these off. Who was Isaac? It wasn't Isaac Newton. was it Nikola? I think it was Nikola Tesla. He did everything in threes. I admire him for that because there's a lot of odds in art. In a lot of art, there's a lot of odds, especially with threes. So the first third of the poll is all about, the idea, and then the second third is bringing the idea a little more to reality, and then the third one is actually making it happen and moving forward with it. So after you've done all of those prior to support, you got to be able to support, and you got to be able to reach. You got to reach your audience because you've got this perspective, you've got this message, and you need to make sure you get it out there. And the more support, the better. Like, film sets are not ran by one person. They can be, but they shouldn't be. I think it's all about the creative fellowship, because you get so stuck in one idea that you're not thinking bigger, and other people are holding you accountable for stuff, and they'll also point out your flaws, because we all have flaws. No one is perfect. Your idea, it's not perfect. And so you got to make sure that you get that reach in order to get your message out there and to inspire ideas, because at Creationists, we are all about ideas that inspire. So please work on these 9 elements for the next week to come, as we will be talking about how my experience with each of these were. But this is episode 10. I don't know. I wanted to do something different. It's still the same format, I'd say, but I'm changing things up. I am having a little bit of a different method, and that's because I want this to be easier for me, so I can get this out to you guys. And I gotta get that reach. And whether you support me on this live streaming or not, it doesn't really matter to me, because at the end of the day, I do this for myself, and I'm getting better. And all of us will get better, and you will get better. I really do believe in each one of you, that if you just work constantly on something, you will evolve. And where you put your time is really important, because I feel like so many people say that they don't have time for things, and that's not true. I get it. A lot of people do have a lot of stuff going on, but you can adjust your timeline. We can all adjust our timeline. We do have space for other things, and I've been finding the time. And it's easy to think that you don't have the time because you're too busy thinking instead of doing. You got 5 seconds. Next time you have that idea, hop on it. Just do it. I don't want to sound like Nike here, although I do like Nike. I mean, they've got a great brand, and they inspire me. But just do it. Anyway, let's hop to the last one, guys. You know what it is. It was coming. I talked about it from the beginning. We got direction here, guys. Because at the end of the day, where is your direction? Whether you're directing a set or you're directing your life, you need direction. And at Creationists, we only have one direction, and that is, oh my gosh, don't anyone cut that excerpt right there. I don't listen to One Direction. I don't really listen to pop. But we move forward. We're moving forward. And we're moving forward from that. And moving forward is the only direction we have at Creationists. And that is why the bulb is facing the way that it is. Oh, I'm trying to position this before I switch. You probably can't see this. Oh, I'm holding it by the wrong end. Anyway, oh wait, what am I doing? The logo's over there. So we only go one way, and that's forward, guys. The right is forward. I'm sorry. I really do apologize for anyone who doesn't live in countries that read left to right, I'm sorry, but I'm being very biased. That's just what I've grown up on. That's my perspective. But I read left to right, and I look at stuff left to right, so right is forward for me. And whenever I look at my little icon for my company, it's a little eyeball, and it's looking right, and, you know, it's moving forward. It's moving forward, and we're going to move forward from that, guys. Also, I really want to thank you guys for everyone who has supported me on each of these episodes. I know they get long, and I know I do ramble on, and I will get better and more concise. That's why I am hopping up on these keynotes and slideshows. I really liked making slideshows as a kid, so I'm trying to take that element, but also I'm just trying to condense what I say. I know this is probably a really long episode, maybe the longest, but I wanted to really break down what the Filmmaker Focus Poll is about and why it matters to me, and maybe why it should matter to you, or maybe it doesn't matter to you. I think these elements are what really keep me in focus and keep me in check. And I mean, without it, I'm just, my mind's floating. This is my rock right here. And that's why I do this, because I want you guys to have a rock, whether it's my method or your method. I'm just giving out an outline, guys. I'm giving out my format, because this is what I do to stay focused, and you can do it too. And I believe in you. Just know that. I believe in you, and I'm sure there's a lot more other people that believe in you too. You just got to get out there, and you got to make moves, because people will notice eventually. They will. They really, really will. So that's going to conclude this week's episode of the Filmmaker Focus Poll. I am your host, Carsonis from Creationists. Make sure to create ideas that inspire. Take care, guys and gals. I'll see you in the next one.